Aloha and welcome back. This is Justin Hayes with ChineseNutrition.org, licensed acupuncturist. Topic I'd like to discuss next is very basic concept in Chinese nutrition, but quite foreign to many Westerners. We're going to be discussing temperatures and flavors today. So if we go back to the search by diagnosis area of the website, you can see that you have several temperatures encompassed by the website: cold, cool, neutral, warm, and hot. Now, there's actually a couple extra categories: very cold and very hot. However, the website does not represent those because they're fairly rare and it tends to be a little bit insignificant, and it was just beyond the scope of the website. So for the purposes of the website, remember that Chinese nutrition, Chinese herbs, it's an art, not a science. There's never going to be a precise answer, but we do classify foods according to their temperatures. Now, cold in Chinese medicine has a tendency to descend, and heat has a tendency to rise, meaning it would rise to the head. So, oftentimes, for instance, a spicy foods diet may cause insomnia. And people, it's a very foreign concept to most Westerners. I've discussed this with clients, and they say, "What do you mean the spicy foods are keeping me up at night?" Well, first of all, you're creating a lot of stomach acid, which is aggravating your stomach. Secondly, all that extra heat is rising up to your head and making you stay up all night thinking over your day or whatever the case may be. So these are some of the basic temperatures we have in Chinese medicine. When we go later to analyze our recipes, you'll see that we assign a value of -2 to cold foods, -1 to cool foods, 0 to neutral foods, 1 to warm foods, and 2 to hot foods. And that's the same with the herbs. So we're basically assigning them a value of -2 to +2. And that way we can do an analysis on our Chinese herbal formula. And we can break it down by which channels they enter and see, is it cool to the heart and hot to the gallbladder? What is this recipe actually doing to your body? Now, secondly, we want to talk about a little bit about flavors in Chinese medicine. This again is basically totally foreign to most Westerners. Toxic is not really a flavor; it's more of a property. Aromatic is again not quite a flavor, but it's more like a smell. That would be like the smell of flowers, roses, things like that. It's believed in Chinese medicine that the aromatic has the tendency to disperse dampness, so it helps to remove that dirty dampness that accumulates in the body and creates pathogens in the body. Astringent is actually a whole nother category. It has a similar action to sour. So sour and astringent are very similar. They help to bind and prevent the leakage of fluids in the body. They can also help prevent the leakage of qi. So if you have a case where someone is, for instance, losing kidney qi, causing maybe excess urination, uh, dribbling urination, the astringent and sour foods can work together to kind of bind the kidney and prevent that leakage from happening. Now, another category that's not on the chart here is the bland foods. There's not a whole lot of bland foods, but bland foods tend to leach out dampness and promote urination. So they help excrete dampness and they also increase urination. Now, the bitter category, and this is a new concept to most Westerners, bitter foods help to clear heat from your body. So they not only clear heat, but they also purge fire. So in the case where you have fire ascending to the head, as we talked about a second ago, uh, keeping someone up at night, they will actually also pull that rebellious heat or the rebellious chi, they can pull that back down. For the same reason, bitter foods can also be used to help treat cough and vomiting. Bitter foods also help to relax the bowels to some extent, and they also help to eliminate dampness to some extent. Now, salty foods actually have a tendency to purge and soften. They can relieve constipation by purging the body, and they can soften and resolve hard masses and tumors. Now, you'll also notice as you browse the site that a lot of salty foods tend to tonify the kidneys, but it's a very gentle tonification, and you definitely don't want to overdo it because a lot of the salty foods are also going to be cold in nature, so you can definitely overdo that. But that's just something I've noticed as I've gone along in Chinese medicine. So that kind of wraps up the discussion on temperatures and flavors. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me at cs@chinesenutrition.org, and I look forward to talking to you soon in the next video.